all the billions of data your brain takes in on a daily basis. For example, you guys have all had this experience before. When you decide to buy a new car, you go through a process where at some point you choose which car you want. So let's say that you decided to buy a Honda Accord. The minute that you decide what you want, you start seeing them everywhere. And all of us have gone through this, and that's where the reticular activating system comes in. Those Honda Accords were always there, but you didn't see them until you decided what you wanted. And that goes for everything, guys. So for this exercise right now, what I would request of you is take yourself out a year. Take yourself into September of 2018 and write down exactly how many units a month you will be doing and why you must achieve that goal. Take yourself out a year, write down exactly how many units a month you'll be doing and why, this is key, why you must achieve that goal. So for instance, a great ask statement would be, by October of 2018, I'll be closing 10 loans a month so that I can buy the new house in the best school district. But it has to be real for you. And guys, we do live events, and sometimes this takes 3 days for people to come up with this. So if you go, man, I can't do this in 10 seconds, I honor and respect that. But write it down. Write down, ask, and write down what you want and why you want it. Now, what's really interesting is I'm going to bet if you guys are regionals and you're in this meeting that you guys are high performers already. So I'm speaking to you right now. You might be comfortable or you might be fine right where you are right now, but that is a problem. And I'll tell you why. Is there's a principle in life. You're either growing or you're dying. One of the fatal flaws that I've seen in so many loan officers is when they get successful, they just want to maintain. Their goal becomes maintaining. That's not an inspiring goal. They say, hey, listen, I'm doing great. I don't want to take any more risk. I just want to maintain what I have. This is one of the most powerful statements, and I have it up in my office, is if you are coasting, you are going downhill. So even if you've done great things and you're wildly successful and you've achieved a lot of your dreams, there's still things for you guys to hope for, to dream for, and to get better in. So a great ask statement for a high performer would be something like, hey, we're going to double our production, or we're going to add another 10 units a month because I'm committed to excellence in all areas of my life. So if that resonates with any of you guys too as well, I can't tell you how many high performers we coach too that just say, hey, listen, if I have the same year that I had this year, I'm stoked, man. And that's a problem. And that is a big problem for those people. So hopefully you have enough notes on that. I really encourage you guys to do that. I know I went through that quick, but this literally has the ability to change lives, the first step. They all do. The next step is believe. I don't know if I can say it any more succinctly than this. You get what you think about. And if you skip this step and go right to action, it will not work. I learned this when I had the opportunity to coach some of my players against the Federers and Nadals in the world. What I found out was what separated the greats from all the rest was their internal self-talk and their beliefs in themselves. The greats believed without a sliver of a doubt that they would succeed. They focused only on victory. When negative, critical, or limiting thoughts came into their mind, they were world-class at reversing those thoughts. They were masters at letting go of the past and focusing in on what they can do now to win the next point. I don't know if you guys had the opportunity to watch any of the US Open the last couple of weeks it's been on, but I'm obviously an avid fan even now. And what was so funny is all the media guys were trying, both Nadal and Federer were out for 6 months of last year, and they were trying amongst themselves to try to get those guys to talk about their injuries. And they couldn't do it. It became literally almost comical, and it became a game for the commentators. And they were saying, can anyone get these guys to talk about what ails them? Nobody could get them to complain at all. Nobody could get them to focus in on anything but victory. Federer at 36 years old, which is a dinosaur in tennis, he made the quarterfinals, and Nadal ended up winning. I really believe that that's what separates these guys. So how does that apply to us in the loan business? Is throughout the day, if you really pay attention to your thoughts, they might sound a little like this. What if rates go up and I never get another loan? What if my best realtor starts using another loan officer? What if Quicken wins and everyone gets a loan online? What if the Republicans or the Democrats, whatever it is, win the next election and I'm out of a job? What if? If we don't watch our minds, they can torment us throughout the day as problems arise, which they always do in this business. But there's another side of your brain that's positive, the abundance side. So your brain is like a little puppy. You have to train it. When you start training your mind to believe, it will fall in line and eventually it will listen to you. Magic happens when your brain switches to only producing thoughts of your victory. So let's do a gut check right now. Is if you had enough time to write down your ask statement, be very honest with yourself right now and look down at your ideal outcome right now. Do you believe without a sliver of a doubt that it will come true? If not, no worries. Don't beat yourself up. Just know that the work for you to do is then on your mind. One of the most amazing apps that's just come out that we just discovered is called Think Up, ThinkUp. You can record your voice and you can set it to music. Hearing yourself say this on a daily basis will start to seep into your subconscious, and before too long, you'll be having these thoughts even without the app on. It's literally unbelievable. So let's move to the next step. The next step, no matter what it is, right, guys? So if somebody
we lost you first.
Okay. When was the last thing?
We only missed you for a moment. We were talking about the Think Up app, but keep going. That's the joy on my cell phone.
Did you hear it on the about the Think Up app?
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, cool. So the next step then is right consistent action. So again, we're speaking on the loan officer side right now, but you can see that this part, you'll start to see how this plays in with any kind of life change you want to make. And every word matters here, guys, is right. You have to be doing the right stuff. You have to be doing it consistently, and you have to be in action. There are 4 key areas of the loan officer business that you can do to get maximum referrals. And we have a system that we teach our clients, and we have them do 15 minutes worth of activity on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Those 4 areas are the clients and agents that you are currently working with in your pipeline. The second one is past clients. The third one is new referral partners. And the fourth one is social media. We have a system around each one of those activities that we do. That's the consistent right action in 2017. And we have people do these. These are the core building blocks to our program right here. Over time, the results are staggering. Now, let me get to the truth, though, okay? The truth is, it's not just loan officers. It's almost all humans that I know. They know what to do. They just don't know how to make themselves do it. I want to say that again and see if this resonates, because this resonated very, very, it was very important to me, is most humans and loan officers know what to do. So when we started saying, hey, do this on these days, they just didn't know how to make themselves do it. So for instance, we all know what we should eat, right? And what we should do for exercise, if you use that as health, for example, but almost nobody does it. Have you ever wondered why? I spent a lot of time on this question when I got out in 2013. It was a question that plagued me. I wanted to start a coaching program, and I said, I don't get it. What is it? And I could see it in my own behavior too. And I didn't know what it was. And so I started researching it. And, the big question is why don't we do the things that we know will give us what we want? Why don't we do them? How do we go from knowledge to action? How do we bridge that gap? How do we go, this is what we're supposed to do. Okay, how do I make myself do it? And what almost everyone thinks they are missing is motivation. And that's not true. There's not enough motivation. There's not enough motivational speakers or coaches or anybody that has the time to yell at you to get up at a certain time and to make you do that. The motivation will always let you down. What's true is, and what I found out doing a lot of research, my wife's a psychology, so she's always talking about brain stuff. So I was reading her books, and what's true is we are not designed we're not designed to do the things that are uncomfortable or scary. Our brains are designed to protect us from those things. That's how our brains are made to protect us. So when we are going to do something new that's outside of our comfort zone, our brain is set up to protect us from that. They don't know the difference between a saber-toothed tiger coming to get us and doing a video or doing social media or something like that. And our brains their job is to keep us alive. So in order to change and build a business and have an amazing life, you have to do the things that are difficult, uncertain, and scary, which sets up the core problem. Is how do we trick ourselves into doing the scary action that will get us our dream? And here's what I found out. This is one of the most powerful statements. It changed everything in my life. It's changed everything in so many people's lives. Is you're never going to feel like doing it. So if we only do things because we feel like doing them, we will not succeed. And so the key is how do we help our clients and how do we help people? Is the answer for us is we have seen that being accountable to a coach and peers is the most effective way to stick to a system. Because remember back in high school when you were on a sports team or some kind of club or whatever, you had peers and you had a coach there, and you wanted to get better because you saw your peers getting better and you saw other people improving it. And once you saw other people improving, you said, okay, cool, I can do that too. And you wanted it for yourself. And that's what we do for our clients. And we've literally seen people go from 0 loans a month to 15 units a month within a year on the system. But it's not just that the system, like, oh my God, Derek's got the best system. The system is awesome, but it's the peer accountability and it's the coaching around it. Because doing the next right thing, no matter how you feel, is the path to the life of your dreams. And guys, if you're sitting on anything, if you're killing it in the loan business, and you probably are if you're in this room, but if you have something else in your life and you even want to call me sometime and discuss it, I'd talk about anything with anybody. But if you've got anything else, the path to getting to changing your behavior, to having a fantastic marriage, to having fantastic health, to kicking any addiction, if there's any of that out there, to having fantastic finances in your life, it's doing the next right thing, no matter how you feel. That's the path. So once we start saying, I'm not going to do things because I feel like doing something, I'm going to do it because it's the next right thing, that's the path. And the folks that stand up and ask for support in this area are some of the most courageous folks that I've ever met. Now, there's one more piece to the puzzle to intentionally creating a reality. Allowing. Okay, I never heard anybody talking about this one back in the day when I was in a bunch of coaching programs too when I was in the mortgage space. And we've all bought that lie that Madison Avenue tells us that, we're only 3 easy payments of $19.99 away from the life and the body of your dreams, 90 days, your bikini body. It's the whole, our whole advertising world is set up around that. Here's the deal. We've only been an industrial society for the last 125 years. Before that, to the dawn of time, whenever humans were created, a majority of humans were farmers, and they adhered to the law of the harvest. They would sow their seeds in March, then they would water and work the land all the way until July with no results, and they were okay with that. They were not out stomping around on all the crops, all upset because they haven't grown yet. They were okay with the law of the harvest. They just kept putting in the work because they knew the crops would eventually come. There is a law of the harvest in this business too. And having the courage to stick to a plan when the results aren't there is the master skill. I cannot tell you how many folks that were literally only a month or two away from just killing it and taking off or changing whatever they wanted in their life, but they threw in the towel because they weren't seeing the results yet. So let me recap the 4-step process to intentionally creating your reality. A is for ask, be specific, and find out why you must get there. Both of those are important. Be specific and find out why you must get there, no matter what it is. And as I say, if it's something personal to you guys, write that down too, or go back and do it later. B is for believe. Focus only on that victory to succeed, only on that victory, and know that you're gonna have thoughts around it. That's what your brain's set up to do. The brain is set up to give you those thoughts. That's its job. So if you know it, and then you can say, okay, I'm having those limiting beliefs, or I'm having those scarcity beliefs. My job right now is to reverse those thoughts, and I'm going to focus back on my victory. That's the work to do. Best app that I've seen to help out on that is Think Up. The next one is right consistent action. Do the right activities consistently. And the A is for allow. Be joyful in allowing the compounding effect of your actions to manifest. So now we're on to the third shift here. Now we're shifting back pretty much only into loan officer. So if anybody was on any other side of their brain right here, we're going back to the loan officer side. The third shift to make in order to be a top producer with a balanced life is to stop making cold calls to the people that you most want to do business with. I'll tell you why. And if somebody wants to debate me on it later, I'm fine having a conversation about it. But let me just make my point why, because there's some people that are like, man, I built my business on cold calls. That's the only way. Or they take it pretty personally when I say this. Let me just explain it though. Making cold calls in 2017 is like trying to fill your swimming pool with a squirt gun. Yes, it will eventually work, but it's the hardest method possible. It is much easier to get a fire hose and fill it up quickly. I will tell you guys, if you guys are on any cold call systems, there's a website called slydial.com. Write this down, SLYDIAL.com. You can record your message and you can send it to 40 realtors on Monday if you're on that system. And it costs 10 cents a person and it costs you 10 seconds, because here's what's going on, and analyze your own behavior. People do not answer the phone anymore if you do not have a set time to talk to them. So if people are making cold calls, they are not answering the phone. You're a glorified message leaver anyways. I took a survey of realtors that were doing over 10 million or more in personal production each year. I asked them 5 questions, and I'm going to go through those right now. So put your mind into a realtor right now. What I want you guys to do is see if you can get the answers to this and really understand where realtors are coming from. The very first question I asked is, how many cold calls do you get from a loan officer per week? Take a second and guess how many the top producing realtors get. So realtors that do over $10 million a year, so high producing realtors, how many cold calls a week do they get? Just take a guess. Okay, here we go. 5. That's 1 a day on average. That's a lot of cold call guys, and guys that are very annoyed about it. And you can write the survey down, and I invite you to ask it for yourself too. I just asked 50 of these to $10 million and above. The next question I asked them is, what is the first thought that comes into your mind when you get a loan officer that cold calls you? So, when you get a cold call, what's the first thought that comes into your mind when somebody cold calls you? How do you really feel when you get a cold call? You go, oh! What is that? The first thing that they said is, how quickly can I end this call? That was their very first one. Second one was, this was really interesting. They said, man, they must be hurting for business. Because somebody's making cold calls, that means they're not doing well. That was interesting too. And the third one was, I don't like you. That was their first impression. The reason I asked this question is we know we only get one chance to make a first impression. So what are they really thinking when they get a cold call from loan officers? It's not good. So here you go. The next question was, would you ever do business with a loan officer that cold calls you? 100% of them just answered no to that one. The next question I asked was, are you open though to using another loan officer other than the one that you're currently using, even if you have a relationship and they're paying for your marketing dollars or whatever, and they're helping you out with Zillow? 43 out of 50 of them said, yes, I'm open for business, even if they were getting marketing dollars for somebody else. So guys, that's what I'm saying. These realtors in America, the best ones, are open to you. They want to do business with great loan officers. There's literally an unquenchable demand right now for great loan officers, but they're closed to those old school methodologies that a lot of people are talking about with cold calling and all that stuff. So if you can't make cold calls anymore, what do? You have to use the secret weapon. Here's the deal. I used to say this. I used to use this as a joke 3 years ago when I had this presentation. Is I'd say, "Hey, what does every millennial look like?" And then I'd show this. And but you know what's wild is, like, literally everybody looks like this now, and this is just what people look like. So the secret weapon in 2017 and beyond, from here on out, is to become a leader in social selling. Now you can ask me, what does that mean, social selling? Let me start by saying that there's an unprecedented generational change happening right now. It's transforming the way that we communicate. That's it. That's going on. That we had it with the car. We've had so many different things in our evolution. That's it. That's all that's happening. People aren't changing. The way we communicate are. That's it. And I define social selling as the practice of using technology to create, strengthen, and deepen relationships. Social media is the greatest relationship tool that has ever been created. We all know that now. So the question now becomes, what do you do on social? What do you say? How do you actually get deals from social? Once you crack that code, the deal flow quickly. And Dante, if I forget, make sure I show an example here at the end, because we've cracked this code and we have so many cool stories to share with people on this thing. It's really, really amazing. So when you get it right, you establish yourself as the authority in your market. You demonstrate that preeminence that we spoke about, because only the best people would be doing this. And you deliver value because the best referral partners will now want to do business with you. The financial planners and the realtors out there, they know that they need to get on this stuff too. So when you start getting on this stuff, they're like, wow, that's awesome. Instead of cold calling me, he's actually going out and trying to get business. That's attractive. And it's great news because, you know, a lot of people have been talking about this for a long time, but nobody, as far as I know, nobody has created a system around it that actually gets deals. People just tell you guys, you've been hearing this for 5 years, right? Like, get on social media, but then it's like, okay, but what do I say on social media? What do I do? What's the system for that? They always left you with that. And so that's the gap that we bridge with our clients. The fifth shift is to, as I just spoke about, to close the gap as quickly as you possibly can, because there's a window right now when if you jump on and you make the switch from the old world to the new world, you have the opportunity of a lifetime in front of you. As I said, realtors and financial planners are so attracted to folks that market themselves this way. The quickest way that I did it in my own life, as I spoke about, is I joined masterminds when I wanted to learn this stuff. I spent 2 years in coaching programs in 13 and 14. If your company has one, jump in. If you're an entrepreneur tonight, create one. That's what I did. In our coaching program, we create mini masterminds within the program so collaboration can happen and people can share with others in real time. Because technology, here's the truth, guys, technology changes at the speed of life. So it's important to have up-to-date information. So let me just recap really quickly, and then I'm going to stop yapping. First one, have total and complete integrity. The second one is follow a system that works, that you can intentionally create the reality that you want for yourself in your life. The third one, and I say stop making cold calls, but what I mean here also is the old world tactics are dating you. The fourth is become a leader in social selling. And the fifth is mastermind coaching. So with that, I'm going to put up this slide really quickly. If anybody needs any help, this is a link to my schedule or a link to my coach's schedule. If you want any information on us or programs, just book a time. That's our schedule right now. If something came up during this call, if there was something that shook loose and you go, hey man, you know what, I'd really like to talk about this too with you, just know that that I'd help with that too, whatever it is. This is a link for us. And so I know that I went into, even by broaching the subject of going into some things besides just loan officering too, sometimes it can shake something loose. We've seen that. Dante's seen it before at live events. So just know that I'm here too. If there's anything sensitive that anybody wants to discuss with me, that's our schedule. Just book a time. And if it's also like, hey man, I want to know about the coaching program or whatever too, just grab this link and book a call right here. So with that being said, Dante, I'd love to open this up. If anybody has any questions, if you want to discuss anything, as I said in the beginning, there's nothing off limits with me. We are an absolute open book. And if anybody wants to just have a conversation too, let's do it.
First of all, Derek, thank you so much. This is exactly what I love about our family. It's exactly what we talked about today with our higher ups being in from out of town. We were talking about the importance of social media, the importance of social selling, the importance of we're rolling out some incredible technology that we just invested over $15 million in. Yep. So having you talk about the importance of technology and going after the millennials, it couldn't be any better timing than what we spent the morning talking about. So,
oh, cool.
Almost like we set it up. But does anybody have any questions for Derek?
Derek wanted to talk about a win or something.
Yeah, you had wanted to talk about a win. You wanted me to remind you, what was that, correct?
Oh, yes. Thank you. Okay. So for all you guys, I'll tell you what, I was in your chair, it felt like a minute ago. And when I'd listen to presentations, I'd go, man, can you give me a real world example of what the heck you're talking about with social selling? So I want to give you guys this too, so that you can see exactly what I'm talking about. Is every week when I was in the masterminds and stuff, I studied, internet mastermind, and I studied copywriting. Um, are you seeing my screen right now, Dante?
Absolutely, Derek. Thank you.
So being that I had, a long history in the mortgage business, the key is, how do you write posts? What do you say on social? And then that's what I learned. So I produce a post for our clients each week on Wednesdays. And so I'd like to invite you that you can take this one. This is not stealing from us. This is my gift to you guys. This is what I do for our clients. Every week I write one. And if you can see the words in here right now that are up here, Dante, this is being recorded. So if everybody goes, oh my God, I don't have enough time to write this whole thing down, we're recording it. We'll get you guys the recording on this. Is that fair?
Yes, absolutely. They can also take a picture. They all have a cell phone in their hand.
Okay, yep, you can take a picture on it too. And we are recording this. We will get this to you. So let me show you, so to verify too, like, man, he said a lot of, this is what would be going on in my mind. If I heard this presentation, I'd be like, okay, how did they get to 123 and how did people go from 0 to 15? So let me show you. So this was a post. You can look up here, September 6th. I wrote this. This is the last one that I did for our clients. And then this is our private Facebook group where people share and stuff in here. I'll read you some of this is our clients then writing in. The social media post this week is awesome. I posted to all my for sale and rent groups, personal business page. We have 3 messages with requests already, and real estate agencies are already sharing our posts. Pretty amazing. Thanks, Derek. Here you go. I did my social media post and received a refinance within 3 minutes. Thanks, Derek. Aubrey, talk about immediate results. 30 minutes after the Thursday post, I've had 5 shares, 4 inquiries, and 2 completed loan apps. Perfectly worded for maximum effectiveness. Thanks, DC. And then this was the best result that we got. Where is it? Oh yeah, Aaron's. No joke. Posted at about 7 a.m. this morning or so. 12 leads, 4 personal messages sent to me, 3 booked appointments. The system works. As Eric would say, this is fun. So here's the deal, guys. So when people talk about social selling and social media, the key to it is leverage. Okay. And this is why when I say cold call systems don't work anymore, is because you can't do something. Some of our people's groups have 20,000 people in it. So you can do one message and 20,000 people can see it. You can't do that with any kind of old world tactic. And so when I'm saying, hey, old world cold calling things are dated, that's what I'm talking about in there.
Derek, I think you went off screen.
Okay.
What's the post? Did I miss that?
What's that?
What is the post?
I'm as a part of the Derek Cheney family. Every Wednesday, Derek actually gives us a script to post on Thursdays.
I've seen other LOs using those.
Yeah, so we post these scripts, and are you still there, Derek?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
So what's amazing with our family on Facebook is that we all share our wins. We support each other. If we have challenges or we have concerns, we automatically put that on Facebook, and then over 100 people all have the ability to come in and share with us and say, hey, this is what I did, or try this script. It's amazing the power that we have, that when someone's having a challenge of a day, or they share their wins so that we can see that it does work. It's amazing. Like, oh, another post, it's never going to work. And then all of a sudden you post it. And I've received a lot of business, but I've also created so many relationships because of my social media selling. But not just social media. Derek isn't just about Facebook. It's also about making sure that you're vibrating at a higher level, that you're sharing your life with your family and living that balanced life. So, Derek, I apologize for taking over on that. Continue, please.
No problem. Yeah. Anybody else? Any other questions?
So Derek, how many people do you coach? And 2, what basically has the, team member seen in improved business?
Love that question. Thank you. Right now, we have 132 people in our program. If the question was how many have we coached, probably 400, I would say, over in existence. Here's the answer to that question. That's why I love this question, and this is for everybody. It works 100% of the time to the extent that the client is bought in and does the action. So when I was talking about intentionally creating your reality, if a client shows up and they do the work and they put in 15 minutes Monday through Thursday, it's literally, as I say, that the average client for us increases their income to $123,000. If somebody comes in and does not do it, they will not increase their income at all.
So, Derek, once again, we can't see you. It's funny, once again, I feel like I'm talking to the astronauts up on the Oh, we'd love to see your face, but I had prepared.
Oh, hold on. Oh, I didn't get that. You can't see me. I'm sorry. Now you see me?
Yeah, okay.
Oh, sorry about that.
No, don't worry. I was just wondering if you were sitting there with your shirt off.
Yeah.
You know what, Derek? Just because everyone thinks that I'm the jokester in the room.
No, that actually happened. Yeah.
So, social selling is incredibly challenging when you go to do videos. I mean, when Derek and I first started, I would almost like just fight tooth and nail for my limitations. I would just be like, no, I'm not going to do it. If everyone else wants to do it, let them do it. This is stupid. I'm not going on video. And it took me weeks. And then finally, when I did, my first one had 1,300 views and I got 2 deals out of it. And it was a simple script that Derek shared with me. Well,
do you want me to share the take my shirt off story real quick?
The silliness of that.
So really quickly, guys, the first time I did this presentation, I had it recorded. And so now I turn off my screen. I'm actually really doing it right now. But the very first time I did it, a gentleman called and he said, hey, I have 80 loan officers. I love your presentation. Will you do it for our loan officers? So the first time that I did this, I didn't know yet that people could see me on the screen if I didn't turn it off. And so I came on, did the introduction like how Dante did it. And I run beforehand to get myself, fired up and so that I have some energy. And I showed up and I sweat through my shirt. So I was on camera and I'd sweat through my shirt. And so I did the introduction, put the video on. I had no idea that everybody could see me. And I worked from home. So I went and took my shirt off and put it in the laundry to dry it. And I sat for that entire presentation that you guys just listened to. I sat in front and had no idea that they were all looking at me with my shirt off. So that's what I did on the first. So, whenever you jump into anything, there's some fear. And I tell all of our clients, I'm like, man, if you just stay fully clothed, you did better than me on my first time when I did it. So that's our internal story there.
And it just tells you that, you still wow them. I know my first video, I had 37 takes. My poor wife had to hold the phone and she was getting so angry because I kept going, no, I need to do it again. I found that perfect isn't what's necessary, sincere is. One of the questions
is there anybody else? Do you want to go around? Is there anybody else that has any question?
Oh, Cynthia does.
No question.
Cynthia doesn't.
A comment on doing the social media.
Yeah.
I did this back with one of my preferred partners, and I did Facebook Live.
Yeah.
And we went ahead and did this Facebook Live, and to date, I think there's 12,000 hits on it.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah, people would ask questions live, and there was someone there letting me know what the questions were, and I was answering mortgage questions.
Yeah.
Via Stearns lending.
That is awesome.
In partnership, and it has been, I'm getting people that call me and they said, hey, I saw you on Facebook. So it actually is pretty strong. I mean,
and it is still alive.
It's really strong. Yeah.
Yeah. And now picture, A, it's still alive so people can see it. And then B, picture if you did one every week, which is what we tell our clients. And that's why when I throw out those numbers, that's how people are going. Like, and it's the average. So I don't know who asked the question, but the average for the people that do the work, the average is $123,000. They increase their income. Our clients, it's staggering right now. So it's really real. It's fun too, right? It was fun doing it. Did you have fun doing it?
It was a blast. I mean,
Yeah.
It was so much fun, and I think that they said that they do a lot of social media, a lot with this team. They're the number 7 team in the country.
Yeah.
With real estate. So they do a lot of stuff, and they still get tickled because it's like number 2 all time in their hit category. And it was just about mortgages because people don't know. It's a great thing to do.
Yeah, it's awesome. Well, thank you for sharing that. I appreciate that. Anybody else? I know I want to keep my word to you guys at only an hour. I know you guys are at the end of your big meeting, but also want to give you the space. Does anybody have any other questions, comments?
I knew that it'd go silent because, of course, we're all professionals, we're all perfect, so we never ask questions. We just got to figure it out.
That's fine. Yeah, that's fine.
I now have the honor of having Mr. Iorio and Tony T in the room. We have recorded this. I just want to make sure. I'd love to share this with them. But Eric Z and Zanatelli, Johnny Wilson, good friends of mine. But how many referrals right now on average would you say Eric is giving out to his realtor partners?
So Eric's been with our program for 2 years, and in the halfway mark on July 1st, he has he keeps track of everything, and he'd given out 20 referrals from this program because, you guys all know this, that unless you come with something, the realtors are going to ask for marketing dollars, right? That's normal. You would too. If people are calling them with their hands out begging for business, when title companies or insurance people call you, you go, dude, what are you giving me? But when they start seeing you out there, like the woman in the back, and they start seeing people out there really getting deals, you get deals, you go right to the consumer. Eric's he gave out 20 referrals to realtors, and we do it in a public way. We help them do it in a public way so that now literally, if you go look at his post, right, Dante, realtors are going, how can I give you deals now? I mean, it's amazing. It's like, it's a way to literally shift the whole conversation. And so it's really exciting and fun, and we love it.
Tony, this Derek has, this comes right on the heels of all of our technology, things that we're talking about, whether it be recruiting or, our technology as far as our app and things like this. This is social selling. The old cold call, the way he started it off, it was really great. And I started this off by saying that Joyce and Mark and I were looking for kind of a way to cap off the meeting, something, but it was all kind of old dated team building type stuff, and we've all done it. I walked by Dante's office. He was on one of the calls with Derek, and they were 45 strong on this call, and I found it pretty compelling for us to listen to, and it's brought us, and hopefully everybody got a little piece out of it. So thank you, Derek.
Yeah,
thank you. Yeah, no, thank you guys. And as I said, my schedule's up there. If anybody wants, if anything shook loose, we are here to serve anybody. So hey, we're honored to be here, and we wish all of you guys luck.